Do you really want to be a designer? If you have a passion and you know that this is your dream job, that's what you want to do, I promise you, you will succeed, okay? If you just think it's a cool job and a cool title and you will make good money right after your course, I'm gonna have to burst your bubble. I'm sorry. If you click this channel, you're either my sister who really enjoys these videos, or you are a UX designer and you really want to find your first job in today's tech industry. Hey, I'm Yael. I'm a senior product designer. I have over 6 years of experience and I currently work at Chainlink Labs. But before that, I used to work with many Israeli startups. If you want to learn more about my story, you can go to this video. But in this video, I really want to share the 5, 6, or 7 things that I would do if I was a junior designer in today's world. Now, let's talk about the huge elephant in the room, and that is AI. I know, I am sick of hearing about AI. Every company is like AI, AI, AI. It's becoming a bit unbearable, but on the other side, this is the future. And I think a lot about what is the future of a designer role would look like. No one knows, right? One days I think AI is going to replace me and I will never have a job. And the next day I'm a bit more optimistic and I'm like, okay, it's going to be somewhat of a hybrid. AI is going to be like my shotgun designer and it will help me with my design processes and workflows and stuff. I actually think the latter is the more realistic scenario, but again, no one knows. The one thing we do know is that designers are expected to know AI. And I will take this job from Microsoft as an example. AI is not a suggestion or a nice to have. It's literally in their job descriptions. You need to know Lovable and you need to know Figma Make. And in my opinion, this is about to become the standard. And if you want to have a job, you need to come up and meet these standards. So what I would do if I were you is to really experiment and use these tools in your work. Like all the portfolios, it's fine that you present fake project, but all these fake projects, first of all, we've seen everything. And second of all, you have no excuses to not build your fake projects now. You can build an app like that today. So show me that you're curious. Show me that you are self-taught. Show me that you can, that you got it. Show me you got it. You as a designer need to initiate and think outside the box all the time, and it is expected from you. So yes, you can have a title of a junior designer, but if you show me that you think like a senior designer and you know how to get your shit, you'll be unstoppable. Unstoppable. So use Lovable, build your portfolio projects. Yes, build them. Build them. And if you don't know how to build them, ask ChatGPT how to use these tools. There are so many resources. You know what? I'll do that. I will start a series of AI tools and I will build stuff in AI in this channel. So subscribe. Now, after we address the elephant in the room, let me actually start with what I think should be the first point, and it is, do you really want to be a designer? And I'm not trying to hurt anyone's feelings. In this video that I mentioned earlier, someone told me that I'm like discouraging. And listen, the last thing I want to do is to discourage you. But I will give you two examples, okay? I have a very good friend of mine. She really wants a remote job. And she told me, yo, yeah, I really want a remote job. I'm thinking of doing a UX course. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, do you have a passion for like technology? Do you like to play with apps? Do you have passion for it? And she's like, you know what? I did some graphic design in the past and I really hated it. And I told her, like, listen, dude, first of all, you're not going to be good at it. I'm sorry to tell you that. But also, why would you want to work in a job that you deem as not interesting? And I know that a lot of people want to work in tech. Understandable. But what I'm trying to say is, like, what do you want to do 8 hours a day? When that person called me discouraging, I need you to understand, I'm not discouraging. If you have a passion and you know that this is your dream job, that's what you want to do, I promise you, you will succeed. Okay? If you just think it's a cool job and a cool title and you will make good money right after your course, I'm gonna have to burst your bubble. I'm sorry. Unless you're a godly designer and you're extremely, extremely talented, it will be very hard for you to climb that ladder. It doesn't happen overnight. And my second example is I did a branding course this year, and I had one of my colleagues, whatever. He is such a good brand designer. He's an amazing graphic designer. He like really hands of an artist. And then he told me, listen, I'm taking this UX course, la la la. I met him the other day and he's like, yeah, I dropped out of the UX course. It was so boring. Maybe I'll do another UX course. And I'm like, again, like if it's so boring to you and you don't connect to the basic thing of what UX is, what digital products are. If you don't have that passion, I'm just not sure it's for you. So, my short answer, if it's your dream and you see yourself doing it, go for it. I believe in you, you will succeed. If you just want that job title and you just want to work in tech, first of all, there are many, many jobs in tech that might be more fitting for you. I think just it's just like people think that UX is like the easiest one. And I think that's a misconception. And again, I'm not saying it to discourage you. I just want to set your expectations. And a very good example for that is YouTube. People want to be a YouTuber and they think they can quit their job in like 3 months and become an influencer, when in reality, look at the statistics. 4% of all YouTubers are making over 100K a year. 4%. That's all I'm gonna say. If you're still watching, it means that I haven't scared you yet, and that's good. That's good. You're into it, you're passionate about it. Now, one thing I do want you to think about is what industry do you want to work? Like I said earlier, you really need to think how you want to spend your 8 hours at work. There are so many tech industries, and every industry has like its own thing. And I will give you from my personal example. So currently, I said I work in Chainlink Labs, which is a blockchain company. Before that, I worked with another startup that was in the blockchain industry as well. And that gave me a huge advantage. The fact that I come from that background of blockchain really put me, in the spotlight. It's like, oh, wow, she has an experience in the exact same industry that we're looking for. That's, it's a perfect fit. Maybe you're very young, you just finished college and you don't really know what you want to do. That's fine. I really want your portfolio to reflect what job you're looking for. You can make a list of the top 3 to 5 industries that you want to work in. It can be AI tools, it could be developer tools, it can be blockchain, it could be social media, whatever. Have pros and cons to each industry. And I can give you, like, again, my 2 cents. If it's, for example, a very simple app, that kind of simple industry, for example, I don't know, to-do list, like productivity apps, these kind of apps might be more replaced by AI in the future. So I would encourage you to focus on things that are a bit more complex. Health industry, amazing. Blockchain, developer tools, stuff like that, stuff that have real substance. Maybe you don't want to choose one niche, that's fine. But I think narrow it down to like two. And for these two niches, for these two industries, you need your portfolio to really reflect that this is the type of job that you want to do. So, to make it clear, your action item is find what industry you want to work in, have at least one project in your portfolio that reflects this industry, show you're passionate about it, show you've done your research, you know the persona, you understand a thing or two about this field, and really show that this is your passion and this is what you want to do. It automatically creates a connection between you two. You have something in common. You can empathize with them. You know the users, you know the industry. And it is so, so powerful. I cannot stress it enough. I don't know, all these bullshit projects that they give you in courses, it won't do anything for me. It just won't do anything. But if you're saying, hey, yeah, I like your industry. Look how passionate I am about that industry that I made this fake project. 10 bonus points. 10 points. You won. Like you won my heart. And speaking of portfolios, I thought it would be good for me to share what turns me off in portfolios when I see them. And I think the first thing, I think it goes without saying, free domain. You can send me your portfolio that says yael.wix.com. It's unacceptable. So if you don't invest 20 bucks in your portfolio, why would I invest in you? Because for junior designers, I need to invest in you. I need to teach you stuff. And if you don't take yourself seriously, I will not take you seriously as well. Buy a domain. That's the least you can do. And that brings me to another discussion about professionalism. I know it's really hard as a junior designer. Sometimes your visual skills are not as sharpened. There's so many really, really good portfolio and resources online that you can take inspiration and example from others and, steal the color palette. Take that typography that they used, steal the same fonts, the same typography. I talked about Fonts Ninja in many of my videos, obviously not sponsored, but I use it a lot. And I'm really looking, okay, so this is the heading title, this is the heading font, and this is the body font. And I'm just taking, if it looks good to me, I'm taking it and I'm doing it myself. And put your ego aside for this one. I know that in the beginning you think, you want to invent the wheel and you want to be special and you want to be unique, but unique is not always good, especially when you're just starting out, because I promise you that things that you think are beautiful and aesthetic now, when you will be a more seasoned designer, you would want to simplify everything. Don't try to don't try to invent the wheel. Just make it look professional. And I think looking at other portfolios and other typographies will really help you with that. The next point, and it's very close to professionalism as well, is to add real text to your mockups. Many times, and I've done it as well in my older projects, is to not add real text to the design. I don't know if it's like a project management tool, I would just write project name. I didn't make up names for it to look real. The more real it will look like, you're showing me that you take things seriously, that you pay attention to detail. And honestly, today it is so easy. There's so many Figma plugins that randomize names and numbers and email addresses for you, so you don't even need to do much. And I sometimes use ChatGPT as well. I just take a mock, put it in ChatGPT and tells him, hey, give me examples for, I don't know, wallet addresses. And it just spits out fake addresses, that I can use. Very easy. Take that extra step to look much more professional. And now is a good time to say that my dream is to have a video where I review portfolios. So if you are brave enough, please let me know. I'm going to choose 3 portfolios. Leave your URL at the comments or send it to me on LinkedIn, send it on Instagram. But please understand, I want to make a video on it. So it's not going to be a one-on-one session for now. Maybe in the future, I will open one-on-one sessions as well. Let me know if that's something you're interested in, and I will make time for it. Anyway, let me know if that's something you're interested in. The next topic I want to discuss is networking. And I know that a lot of people are talking about it, and that's something that is a bit difficult for me as well. But networking and connections are so fucking important. I can give like from my personal experience when I was looking for a job, like 2 years ago, one of my best friends, she used to work on Monday.com. We were just sitting, it was like a friends gathering, and we were sitting, and there was someone else from her company there. And I was jobless at this point. I was looking for a job. We were just talking about products, or I was ranting about like product that I think is shitty or whatever. And then that friend of her colleague, was like, "Yo, you know what? I think you would be a really good fit for position that I'm trying to fill." And like, she set me up an interview, and eventually I went to work at Chainlink Labs, as you already know. But it just shows you that the more connection you have, the more opportunities you will open to yourself. And I'm not saying now annoy people of like, "Hey, I need a job, I need a job, I need a job." Like, don't be obnoxious. Let people know that you are a designer and that you're looking for a job. But again, do it gracefully. Also, I want to say the people that you studied with are probably the people that you're going to work with in the future. And I have plenty of examples for that, especially here in Tel Aviv, where it's such a small city. You'll never know who's going to interview tomorrow. So always be nice to people, always offer help, and always build connections. And eventually, it will pay off, I promise. And now we reach to the point that you actually have an interview scheduled. So please don't fuck it up. One thing I really want you to do is research the shit out of this position. Know everything you can about the company, when it was founded, who's the CEO, what do they do, who is their persona, right? Who are their clients? If it's a startup, did they raise any money? What round are they? Every little thing you can know about this company, you need to know. You need to come extra prepared. Do your homework. So that's the first thing, right? First of all, if you're getting an interview, you're learning everything you know about this position and the company. Cool. Second thing I want you to do, you're going to go to ChatGPT and say, "I am a junior UX designer interviewing for company name. I am meeting with, if it's the recruiter, if it's the design lead, if it's you're going to be your manager, whatever. Give me a list of questions that I might be asked, and also give me a list of questions that I need to ask them." Then you're going to get your list of questions. You're going to answer them. Yes, write it down and practice them. And now, I know that some of you are going to be like, "Oh, I want to be natural. I want to be, I want to come as myself." I'm not saying you should be fake. I'm not saying you should read off a script. You know what? Even from YouTube, I have a script here. I'm not reading it word by word, but I wrote it. I read it once or twice, and now I know what to say. I'm not even looking at the script. I'm looking at, okay, so right now, this is what I want to say. Fine. And then I talk. You don't know yet how nervous you will come to the interview. I can just say, like, for myself, I get extremely nervous when I interview. So I know that the more I practice, and the more I will have, because practicing questions, maybe maybe they won't ask you that questions. But these questions give you a toolbox of, tell me one time that you showed leadership in your old job. And then you have an answer. You have a story. You think about things. And then, the more you practice, the more, not chill. I'm never chill in interviews, but the more confident you can be in interviews. You will be much more confident, and you won't be caught off guard. And I can't stress it enough. Please, not please, you need to ask them questions. Imagine if you're on a date, no one is asking you anything about yourself. How insulting that is. Like, are you even interested in me, or am I just interested in you? A job interview, and very much like a date, is an opportunity for both sides to see if they're a good fit for each other. So you need to ask them questions as well. And that's fine. You don't know what to ask? 100%. Go to ChatGPT. For example, I always ask, how does this company work with data? Do they interview users? How do they work with these inputs? Stuff like that. How connected are the designers to developers, the front end developers, because eventually that's the relationship you're going to have. Someone is going to have to build the things that you design. Do they have processes of how they hand off, how designers hand off design? That's just my examples. These are like three questions that I always ask. I swear I have in my notes, I have a bunch of questions that I just rehearsed and I answered. And you know what? There's actually a cool website with like a list of questions. I don't remember it now. I will link that in the comments below. This is Editing Yale, and I cannot believe I missed one of the most important points. It wasn't even on my script. One of the most beautiful and important tips I can give you, and that is something I learned in the interview that made me cry like this. That was one of my first interviews. I didn't have a job, I didn't have experience, I had nothing. I was such a junior. The interviewer asked me, "Tell me about one product that you really love." And I'm like, "Yes, Spotify." And then he said, "If you could fix one thing, like, point out one feature that you don't like about Spotify, why would that be?" And I don't know if you are new to this channel or if you've seen my other videos. My first video is critique on Spotify. And I'm telling you this because I think it really connects to being passionate about design. A good designer will know to point out flaws in design. I know that you're not experienced in that. That's fine. You can take inspiration from so many things. You can even, shameless plug, go watch my videos. Go watch my videos that I critique other products, because you learn so much from it. And I learned from so much from it as well. If I really love a product, I'm thinking, what do they do so good that I love this product so much? I'm noticing stuff in the flow. I'm noticing why it's good or bad. And that's a muscle that in the beginning it will be really hard for you. That's why I'm suggesting, and I don't really know if there's like more channels like mine that really critique designs and not just critique portfolios. I'm talking about like really critique other products. I'm sure there are. Look for them and learn how to critique from the eyes of a designer. And with that, the only thing left for me to say is to please be patient. I know what you're going through. Trust me. I've been there. And again, like, watch this video. Watch this video next. You know what? Watch this video next. I hope I didn't discourage anyone. I will never give you bullshit or, sell you a dream of how easy it is to be a UX designer. And, it's just fun and games and all roses. This is not that type of channel. And I'm a very tough love kind of girl. And we don't even know how long will UX jobs even be relevant. Maybe the robots will take our jobs and we'll have to sell feed pics online. I don't know, but I'll see you in the next video. Bye.